On the 3rd of April 1973, the first mobile phone call was made. It was made by Martin Cooper, an engineer working at Motorola, and he called a rival phone company to gloat about making the first ever call from a mobile phone. From that day, right until now, mobile phones have had an impact on people, schools and society. During this presentation, we will discuss the impact that mobile phones have on people, schools and society, whether it is positive, negative or based around addiction. There is an impact.
Mobile phones are an extremely prominent aspect in everyday life, but it also does come with a lot of negative aspects within the lives of people, within a school community and within society as a whole. People look at their phones for insignificant reasons such as Facebook, Instagram or keeping up with the latest gossip, and as a way to avoid human interaction. Instead of building personal relationships, we constantly look at our mobile devices, and this leads to the lacking of social skills. Mobile phones also affects people individually due to a lack of sleep. How many people can say that they sleep with their phones next to their head and check their phone whenever a sound comes on? Lack of sleep can lead to a lack of energy and concentration and can be harmful when on the roads or at work. In current years, technology has been introduced into school environments. Children from the age of 4 years old play on mobile phones for educational purposes. However, that might not always be a good thing. How will we know if our future generation will only be learning on phones or devices and not learning how to handwrite things or even spell correctly? Our current school children spend hours on a device rather than learning basic skills. Phones can also affect people negatively in the school environment through cyberbullying. Bullying on the internet is a very common way to bully someone because it's easier. Not only is cyberbullying common within young adolescents, but also leakage of images or private messages. People use the power of mobile phones to harm others mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. This also links into death within society caused by mobile phones while on the roads. Not only does phone usage while driving take the main person's eyes off the road and affect their driving, but it also affects the surrounding people. Normally, in an everyday life, it takes someone a few seconds to read a text message and get completely distracted by it. A few seconds of reading a text and then a few seconds later, you are responsible for the death of another person or maybe even more.
With all the latest crazes ranging from new games to new social media apps, there is always something new to catch the attention of the user. Ultimately, it has had a major effect on individuals, schools and society as a whole. As a 21st century learner, it's become the norm being so regularly on your phone, as we've grown up around digital technology, so we don't know life without it. This has caused social interactions to decrease as individuals may be more inclined to stay home and interact over the internet. Another very serious issue that comes along with mobile phones is the use of them while driving. Again, due to the addictive nature of phones, some people can find it hard to go a whole car trip without checking their phone, putting everyone at risk. In schools, there are often rules and regulations in place regarding mobile device use. This allows students to not be distracted by them during class hours and be able to focus on their work. However, not always are these rules followed. I remember in my high school years, I would constantly be on my phone in class, not paying attention. This all relates to an individual's discipline and how entrenched they are with their phones. Blocking websites is also becoming ineffective, with the uprising of data usage on personal devices allowing easier access. As a society, we rely on mobile phones too much, whether it be for personal use or business. Not having a mobile phone on you can cause a lot of anxiety for most people. In a broad sense, major issues relating to mobile use include use on the roads, cyberbullying, productivity levels at work and school, sleep deprivation, and decreased social interactions. These issues would be affecting a large portion of our society. Personally, considering the impact of these factors could greatly decrease the risk of the danger.
Mobile phones are an essential item in this day and age. They have become a necessity for everybody and anybody. The benefits of having your own personal mobile phone are you have a convenient pocket-sized storage library that can hold photos, music, notes, ebooks, videos, podcasts, games, and lifestyle and fitness data. That's just some of the storage capabilities mobile phones have. All smartphones come equipped with more tools than a Swiss Army knife, such as digital cameras, a compass, spirit level, calculator, world clock, calendar, torch, and alarm clock, just to name a few. Another benefit is mobile phones give us the freedom to easily communicate with the world through apps such as Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. These three are just some of the most commonly used apps. We can also make phone calls, send text messages, emails, post blogs and vlogs, and share photos, videos, music, images, art, and sounds. They also give us access to the internet, and we already know the benefits that has on the quality of life. These factors alone show the benefits mobile phones have on people. The beauty of it is, as technology improves, so does the mobile phone, and it can only get better from here. The impact mobile phones have on schools. We've only really just scratched the surface when it comes to utilising mobile phones in a classroom of schools. The benefits of having one-to-one access to a mobile phone for learning is phenomenal. When I was at school, we were lucky to have 3 computers in a classroom with 25 plus students in it, and you'd be lucky if all 3 of these computers work. If we allow students to use their mobile phones in a class for educational purposes, they will have easy access to a whole new world. By allowing students to use their mobile phones in a class, we can, as teachers, easily cater to the needs of all students. We can monitor their learning have a new medium in which teachers and students can keep in contact for educational purposes. Yes, there are plenty of barriers and negatives that go hand in hand with allowing students to use their mobile phones in classrooms for educational purposes, but I feel the benefits easily outweigh the barriers. When we think about the impact mobile phones have had on society as a whole, we immediately think negative, such as antisocial behaviour they have created. But if you look at the impact mobile phones have had on small farming villages of Masaka and Luwera districts of central Uganda, you can see just how beneficial they have been within that community. The improvements that using mobile phones had had on the quality of life were huge. For example, the households that had access to mobile phones had a higher income, but the households that let the women use their mobile phones, income increased even more, thus improving their overall quality of life. It also gave women within the community better gender equality as they had higher bargaining value. This is just one example of the positive impact mobile phones have in society. Mobile phones make keeping in contact with people easy, as you can get direct contact via text, phone call, video call, online message or email. All of these are quicker than sending a letter in the mail. They also give us an easy access way to communicate with people that live on the other side of the world, not to mention the tools that the modern day smartphone contains. These all add a new dimension to the once simple mobile phone, thus having an impact on society. In conclusion, mobile phones have a substantial impact on people, schools, society as a whole. The debate will still continue to rage on about whether the impact is positive or negative, but we can definitely say that they have had a substantial effect since they were first introduced all those years ago. But as technology advances and improves, so will the changes in mobile phones, so it is hard to really measure the impact they are having with all the new changes and improvement mobile phones are getting. We can conclude that mobile phones will continue to have an impact on people, schools and societies throughout the lifetime and the next.